Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our next set for week number one of season 5 Smite OCL. We did just watch Family Guys versus Off Roll plus Tilly. Moss, what a set that was. The rematch from finals last season. Family Guys took it in a 2-0.
Yeah, and if it's anything to show for what we've got tonight, hopefully this second game will be a good showing.
A barn burner of sorts as we have the Wizards versus the Romanticals, and there's a lot of standout names from previous seasons on the Wizards roster. And Romanticals is a lot of sort of newer players that we haven't seen too much of before, but they looked fantastic coming out of relegations. They were one of our two teams that relegated through. Um, and a lot of players on that team looked great, and I think that they deserve the spotlight that they're going to get this season.
Yeah, I agree. I was actually pleasantly surprised with the Romanticals, the way that they have played so far. I think they
Mhm.
might be a little bit slept on in this season, but I think they actually have a some good synergy going on, and they've been practicing quite a lot. So I'm keen to see if they can have some success. See
I
their
love.
roster here. We got Davo and Solo. Newer name. I think he played maybe one season beforehand.
I did play with him last season, yeah.
Yeah, he's had some good showings as of late.
Mm,
Still learning in the role. But I think there's good things to come with Davo.
I
Um,
agree. Yep.
what about the rest of the roster? Do you want to take it away?
Explosive Nut is not someone. That's risky, isn't it?
Yeah,
I've heard that he's a fiend inside and outside of Smite game. Um, I like him. I think that he comes in and brings a lot of energy to the game. He's not someone that I'm overly familiar with, but obviously has had quite an impact. And despite the fact that he's probably the name that I know least on this roster, he's made quite the name for himself coming into jungle on this team, and he looked quite good. We've seen Azemo before in mid as well. I believe that he was on a team last season, and again, someone just making a name for themselves. Who's overthinking Hubu? Is that someone that's got a different name?
overdosed on Milo.
Overdosed on Milo. Okay, I do know who that is as well. And again, like this team is, Davo, Azemo, Milo, and Manny are all people who have been around for a while. Obviously, the best Morrigan in OCE in the world actually is on that team. But the other members have kind of been around in and out of seasons, making names for themselves on different teams. And I love to see these guys coming together here. Moss, what do you think about these guys?
I think it's a solid team. Tonight we'll be seeing a sub actually in the jungle. So
That's true.
I believe Angel will be taking place. I'm pretty sure it's a listed sub, so I'm not sure why it's not on the graphic. But Angel's a great jungle player, good role player, good sub to have. So I'm actually excited to see how they perform with a little bit of a change up in the lineup.
Hmm.
Um, outside of that, I think they have some solid members. There's still a few newer, kind of not as experienced players on the team, but so far they've had some good showings.
Yeah, I'm glad that they have this opportunity here. They got themselves through the relegations, which is an excellent start. They managed to beat players who have been, you know, in season after season of OCL. So it shows that they deserve the opportunity to be here, to be competing with these teams. And there's no better way to improve than to jump in with some of these big boys and compete against the best teams in OCE. Obviously it would be nice if they had a coach. Hopefully some of the insight that we bring will be able to help them work through maybe some weaker areas or some rougher spots that we've seen throughout the rallies. But I expect these guys to be a very competitive team by the end of the season, I think.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Maybe let's take a look at their opponent.
The Wizards, we've got Jack Martin, one of my favorite solo laners in the world. In the solo lane, White T Clax in the jungle, Cloud T in mid, None in support, Furin in ADC, and they've got Flicks as a sub. Look, these guys, they had quite the season last season. Didn't have Clax at the time, and there's been a few roster changes. Cloud T switching to mid, None over to support, and bringing Clax into jungle. It's an interesting bit of a switch on. Normally we see Cloud in the jungle and None in mid, but he has switched between mid and support before. I like this version of the roster though. You're giving Clax an opportunity to do what he does well, which is jungle. You're putting Nine in support and letting him be comfortable and controlling that area of the game, and you're letting Cloud control the middle area of the game. He's not going to be too impactful on those side lanes, but when everybody is grouping up around him, he can have the impact that he needs to have. What do you think, Most?
Yeah, I think it's a strong roster. The only question mark for me really is Clout in middle. I don't think that's the role he has the most experience in. So he's going to have some names, a name to make for himself this season. Like
Mhm.
not having played that role very much. But I think Clax is a good pickup for this team. Like he has a few picks
Mm.
we know that he can do really well on, and
Yeah.
we've seen Furin time and time again just play the ADC lane very well. And to top it off, Nan is a experienced experienced voice to have in the team. The
I
only
think it's so
gigantic
funny
question
that you gone.
the only gigantic question mark I have for this team is like if they can kind of listen to one voice, because I know that there's quite a lot of like egos on the team, so it'll just be a
Mhm.
matter of like tuning that in to having like a cohesive kind of team environment.
I love that you talked about everybody on the team except for Jay Better Jack Martin. That's so funny for me because he has the biggest ego on the team. Um,
Do I even need to say that though?
no, no. I will say that having Jack Martin and his feet on one team, very impressive. Not something we see very often, and I think that the fact that his feet are attached to him, that underneath him, that's important. I'm not going to follow up on that too much further. But
Yeah, let's
if
go
you
into
were
picks
around in
and
previous
bans.
seasons, you know. Yeah, let's go on to picks and bans. um, if production, if we could have that full screen on our side as well, that would be great, my friend. Thank you. All right, game number one here between Romanticals and Wizards. As you mentioned, it's going to be Angel playing a jungle here, subbed in for the Romanticals. Freya ban off the bat here for Romanticals. We've seen that a few times, Most. Is Freya ADC that potent right now, or is it kind of just a flavor of the month?
I think if it's good, definitely still very good. I know Manny V can play it himself, but I think that they're looking to prio different picks. So if they don't want the Freya, take it off the board. I think one of those picks that I was kind of alluding to was the Oleron. I've seen Manny V prioritize that quite a lot.
Mhm.
And being a newer ADC player, obviously your pool isn't going to be gigantic. So I think I can see quite a few ADC bans coming out in this top 3.
Yeah, Oleron taken away here by the Wizards. So that's another one removed from the map. Yamoja's going to be banned here by Romantical, so obviously don't want to give that prio over. And Athena by the Wizards here too. So a lot of very meta picks are being taken away. And that looks like Pele banned by the Romanticals too. So not really wanting to give any options over. It's obviously now quite difficult to pick a really strong ADC there for Manny, especially with that Chernobog ban. What direction do you think you're going? Maybe a Ram here potentially?
Yeah, Manny really likes the Ram. I can't really see him picking anything else. Although there are other gods open, like there is still Raijin open. I know
Mm.
that it's being prioritized a lot, and there we go. It's as
It's
I
Raijin.
alluded to it last game that it's been getting heavily priored in solo, but I was wrong there. So we could see it in the middle lane.
Mm.
The set, I know that there's a few set players on the Wizards team, so it's a good pick for them.
Face the crushing
Is Hoverton locked in
sands.
here for the Wizards alongside this Ganesh
I
Hover,
will
and
leave
I love
standing
Ganesh.
no
I like seeing it
barrier
locked
to
in here.
our
He's obviously a
success.
bit more passive as a support, but the silence just does so much work. Any god that wants to be able to get into your backline is just immediately punished. Anyone with a blink can't do anything. This Ares, if they lock in this Ares, it's honestly a mistake against Ganesh because he blinks in, he's immediately silenced, and then killed before he can even press the 4 button.
It's kind of the same
No
story with the
mercy.
Raijin. So yeah, it's a bit rough picking the areas into the Ganesh. I definitely agree, but the potency of that top pick from Wizards is because that set can flex into both mid and jungle. So there's still quite a lot of options open for their draft.
I like saying that the ROM was safe for here. Obviously, if you're trying to prioritize picking a god for maybe someone who's got a bit of a smaller pool, it's tempting to pick a god really early. And we were talking about that ROM in that early first pick slot. But saving it, being aware that you
Let
can
the
pick up
hunt
yourself
begin.
a Raijin, and you know that the Wizards are likely to get more priority picks and avoid the ADC area, so that you can get this ROM in third is really good. It's going to be countered by Artemis here, who is not a god that we've seen very often at all throughout OCL.
Yeah, there's like I'm no ADC player, but I'm pretty sure that Artemis is a good matchup into Ram. You can trap his ult. I don't know if that still fully works to the extent that it does in my brain, but also the Tusky is going to have such a good time assisting this set in the dive, like popping that Tusky in a team fight and just letting your set go berserk is going to be very nice.
Yeah, in the 1v1 Artemis between Artemis and Ram, like Artemis should be able to take that pretty handily. As you mentioned, Trap and Tusky both play so well into Ram's kit. In saying that though, Artemis is going to have a very hard time laning against Ram, just pure pressure wise. So I hope that we see Romanticals put some pressure over there, keep this Artemis down, because as you said, Tusky alongside Set and Ganesh as well is potent, is really, really strong. And so if you can keep at least one area of that down a little bit, maybe even get your Ram further ahead as well, I think that you really alleviate some of that pressure of what the comp that Wizards are looking for does here.
I have to agree with you. It
Thank you.
is it is a ticking time bomb though, in the Artemis. Like the longer the game goes, the, the lower your chance gets of winning. Because when Artemis gets full build, she will just rip through
Terrifying.
anybody. Even
Yeah.
with Spectral, you still critting through people for like 500.
We make war
We have
so
seen
that
the
we may
second ban
live
phase
in
happen
peace.
here. Susano and Camazot's banned here for the Romanticals. Wukong and Cerberus banned by the Wizards here. Looks like a lot of solo-focused bans coming out of the Wizards. And I don't mind that here. Obviously, protecting your weakest player, Jack Martin, is smart. I like that. And he's picked himself up the armor as well. So a nice safe pick for your sort of newer player on that team, I think.
Yeah, they obviously don't believe that Rajan is going solo, but this Yu Huang pick would suggest that it is. And we've seen time and time again that Azimo is more than happy to just sit back and play this Yu
You
Huang. It's
are
kind of
not
the pick
yet
that he
ready to
made his
become
name
the
for.
Jade Emperor.
The pick that he got very kind of popularized in
Oh,
mid lane
100%.
with. Yeah, so I like the Daji as well. It looks like a good draft. The only question mark there is really the Ares.
Yeah, I mean, look, it plays well with the Daji. We just saw how well Daji Ares play together, and I do, as you mentioned, I like Yu Huang. It normally is a good counter pick against this Ares Daji, so taking it away and not letting Wizards even have that option is nice. I don't think that they would have gone for it given that they've got the set likely going into mid, but also they're hovering this Chronos here, so who knows?
I can't see this Kronos getting picked. It would allude to
Not
like
very
a
hard.
super strong late game comp with the Artemis Kronos, but
Time is on our
I feel like
side.
there we go. I think that's going to be middle. I'm not too sure what Cloud's God Pool is in mid, but who knows? Maybe it's Kronos.
I mean, it's locked in.
I doubt. You can never doubt what Cloud's going
I'm
to
still
pick.
processing, man. I'm still processing it.
You're just stunned.
A little bit. Look, Kronos is a Smite game.exe god.
It's true.
He plays well with the Artemis. They're both very sort of strong late game, smack people as hard as you can gods. They're going to do really well against towers and objectives together. And I think that they're going to play well with this set as well as just a death ball super squad that can go in and ruin someone's life. But Moss, looking at these comps, who do you think is going to take game number one between Romanticals and the Wizards?
It's a tough one. I think both drafts have the potential to take the game. I'm interested to see how Davo goes on this Raijin solo, but I think if this game goes late, which it probably will, there's no way that the Wizards will lose.
Yeah, I think I have to agree there. In saying that, though, I think that Milo on this Ares and Angel on this Daji have a lot of potential to combo together. I want to see them do it, and we will right now as we go into game number one between the Romanticals and the Imperial Wizards. And we'll throw it over to our casters, Most and Diceheart. Boys, take it away.
Thanks for that, Dysart and Moss. That was a really good analysis of the picks and bans there.
Wow, very handsome stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look, I have to agree with the Deskers. Jack Martin playing a very safe god, which makes sense for him, and it's alongside a lot of not very safe gods from the rest of the Wizards squad here. Obviously, Kronos and Artemis have a bit of a hard time in the early game. Set in the jungle is strong, and it's obvious what they're going for and what they want to do. The Wizards in the late game, but I think it's going to be a bit of a struggle for them to get here, especially given the very high CC potential that the Romanticals have with this Darji and Ares combo.
Yeah, I know Klax. I've seen this Klax set jungle. He's gonna pick up a Soul Eater and go straight into Breastplate and then be unkillable. So hopefully the Romanticals have some sort of answer towards that. Early anti-heal across the board, possibly singling out the set in the team fights and just or trying to find picks on him before the team fights even begin. Would be a good look. And I know Manny has kind of been so accustomed to building the Griffin wing in. Oh, we have a Jack Martin DC. That's why
Oh my
we got the
God, bro.
pauses.
Every time with this guy, like, just ban him from the comp already, I think.
Yeah, that's up to you, bro. You can make that decision.
Go on.
But yeah, I think if Angel can find some power allows onto the set to start the team fights off, it's going to be a way better kind of
Oh,
play for
And-
the Romanticals.
this is a god that I'm really happy to see Angel has Blink on. I love that for him. On this god specifically. Normally it's on Hunters.
Or Scylla.
Or Scylla. A lot of aggression coming out here from Milo and Manny. They should have lane pressure here over Furin and Nan, and they will get it, but it needs to be. They need to be able to maintain that across the board. And right now they're kind of losing. 2v2. Manny has taken so much damage to Nan, and you really can't get into this position in this duo lane. You already have pressure in the lane as Ares Ram. You need to focus on clearing the wave, and then you can look at poking potentially with chains and that, but you can't be using your wave clear in a poke war and allowing the wizards to clear like that, because this lane should be a win for Romantical.
Ram is so potent because he can. Oh,
Where's
Angel.
No, he finds Clack.
Angel doing their best vintage impersonation.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear him during the MVP conversation, see if he can keep that impersonation up. That
Yeah, I think the power of Ram in lane is being able to clear the wave and poke your opponent. But if you're just going straight for poke with your Astral Arrows, you're kind of trolling. See Angel coming
like
here
it
again for the
here
good
as
game.
Nan is going to dash aggressively there, force the beats out of Manny, and there's Angel again looking for Nan. No chain connected though, might make all the difference. No, Angel has himself 2 kills in the early game right now, and he is putting the Romanticals on his back and saying, let's go, we're winning. And I love it.
Daji is definitely a god that you can do that with as well. We saw the power that this Daji had early in every game that's been played so far. People have just been kind of disrespecting it.
Clack's looking for some damage onto Davo, but he's playing this Raijin in the solo lane. He has a lot of damage, and it's kind of putting Jack Martin in his place right now. You know, he's level 4 to Jack Martin's level 3, and he forced a very early rotation out of Clax, who wasn't able to get anything for it. So across the board, Romanticals are looking absolutely phenomenal.
Clout, no recipe. Shame to see.
No.
He's cooking the
Maybe
draft
that's why
and
Jungler got first blooded.
he's cooking the draft and the build, which we like to
That's
see.
true. That's true. Clack's really still sticking around this solo lane side of the map, but Angel has made his own rotation over here. It's basically an attempt for both teams to make sure that they can secure down these blue buffs. I think Davo would have been fine there, but I don't have a problem with Angel being there. He's getting a lot of farm across the map. Going to go to these mid camps next, and I'd be terrified of Angel right now. I would not, as anybody, want to walk into this Darji. So I think he can kind of be anywhere on the map that he wants to be.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I think another reason these magical solos are being prioritized so heavily at the moment is just because these physical defense items that exist are so potent, and you cannot really afford to go. You can't itemize the strongest items in the game when you're against the magical solos. So
Yeah.
breastplate is kind of a throwaway pick if you get it first, and it doesn't feel very nice going the magical defense items as your first defense item in lane. So
Yeah,
another,
it's going to be...
another reason.
Oh, Ares ult. He's going to come out here from Milo. We'll actually pull in Nan. Not too much poke off the back of it, and maybe a little bit early as we're still seeing Angel rotate over here. I think if he'd been able to force the beads out of Furin, that would have been fine, but we're going to see Angel make the rotation anyway. Insta-pull as well, and up into the air goes the Ram. Manny has found the kill onto Furin. This might be an overcommit though, as Clax has made a rotation over, looking for the damage, and Angel still chunking out a lot of his own. Angel low health. He's going to be trapped into a lot there, but still survives, and now Clax being turned around on. Milo won't be able to find enough damage there as Azemo's made a rotation. It's a very late rotation. I think Dueling Dragons are going to come out, but they won't be able to connect here. I would have preferred to have seen Azemo stay in lane there and just focus on his own area, because now you're letting this Chronos get a bit of a lead, despite the fact that Romanticals had an excellent rotation and play there without his rotation.
Yeah. Angel played that so clean. It's such a good mechanic on the Daji. If you're insta-pulling, you can still pull people and get their beads if they're not quick enough with it. But I would definitely agree with you on the Azemo rotation there. Like, I respect the fact that he wants to play with his team, and that's a good thing to see, that he wants to back his team up and like get that energy going. But it's a bit criminal to just let a Chronos free farm.
It is, and now Davo, being aggressed on by Klax, will be able to dash away here. Jack Martin not able to find the silence at the right time to prevent that dash. And yeah, you know, what it comes down to is Romanticals are up 3-0 right now, but only about 1,000 gold, maybe 900 gold. And part of that is because Clout has been able to keep farming in mid, and it also meant that when Azemo rotated there, he was able to push a wave under tower and pick up the right side mid camp, which are not things that a Chrono should be allowed to do by himself.
Yeah, I really like this purple buff pressure. This Artemis is going to have a lot of trouble getting out of the early game if they keep playing this way from the Romanticals, so super smart idea. I don't think they even knew the timer, but now they see the rotation coming. They have good ward coverage, and they just back up.
Yeah.
I think they could have fought that.
I think they could have too, but obviously you don't know where mid jungle are at the moment, and if the set comes in there, you're terrified. I like the play. I don't necessarily like the timing of the play, because if they waited a little bit longer for Furin to actually step out there, they probably could have forced a little bit more out of him. You know, Artemis doesn't really have an escape option, so if she plays forward, then you can punish her. But still, a good play overall, maybe just a little bit more execution as Cloud T is going to take a little bit of aggression here, but Davo might be able to get a kill onto Jack Martin, just barely survives, does the armor Cloud T, though inside of the Ganesha will find the kill onto Angel. Cloud T is also going to fire off his own ultimate, keeping him alive here, resetting to pick up the kill onto Milo as well, double kill for the Chronos, and this is why you can't just let this god free farm through the early game. He's now up 2-0 and a level over Azemo, and this Chronos can absolutely ball out of control right now.
Yeah, that's a big worry if you're on the Romantical side. Losing Angel there, all that tempo from just being so fed is gone, and this Chronos is now just getting bigger and bigger. So
he's back, though Cloud T doesn't have an ultimate available, but Azemo isn't able to find the route to lock him down for Angel to find the kill either. And you're right, losing that tempo. It was enough that the game's basically squared up completely even again. In fact, Angel is completely even with Klax as well, so he's just not been able to find farms since those few early kills that he got.
I hope we see some more picks come back, because I think Daji has that potential, even just to one-shot someone.
Yeah. Jack Martin now has this Golden Blade available too, so Davo OCL taking a 1v1 is very risky. Ultimate used by the armor here might just be to his detriment though, as Davo's going to fire off his ult while Angel makes the rotation over, although none of the Ryzen damage connected there. Angel is going to get up on the parallel and pull in Jack Martin, dashes straight back into Angel, and there's the pick you were looking for. Solo lane falls, Jack Martin weakest link on the Wizards confirmed.
Angel was kind of covering up all those missed Taiko drums. It's kind of hard to hit them at max range. You kind of really want to be using them mid-range, but Angel made sure. Well, I think he's a good matchup.
Immune there for Azemo, but Klax, recognizing that there's no T1 tower there, is going to rest onto Azemo, forces the ultimate out of the Yu Huang here, and the damage coming out is so strong as ultimate used by the Ares here. Angel into the backline, isn't able to pick up the Chronos before he can ult out of that one. Now the Ganesha coming down as well. He's going to force Angel back underneath the T2 tower, just barely does this Daji get out. Klax low health, but no one there to follow up to find that kill. Azemo is so unfortunate because he got out of the Chrono stun, and just Klax is able to follow him up, and that's kind of the weakness of Yu Huang is, you know, no tower, no survivability realistically.
Yeah, I think it's kind of rough for the Yu Huang that his tower got taken so early. It gives so much map pressure to this set. Like, he can travel wherever he likes now freely and just find ganks like that.
I'll have to see how the next stage of the game plays out. It's really either team's option for where they're going to put their aggression. Obviously, yeah, wow, finished devs for Manny far and away before Furin has. Manny's actually quite a bit up in this lane at the moment, 1-0 over Furin. Either team have the option here for what they want to do, I think. Obviously, Azemo doesn't have a tower to keep him alive, so I'm expecting Wizards to put their pressure onto mid very, very much, and potentially turn that into a Gold Fury, or even a Pyromancer when that spawns, but it's actually Romanticals that are putting their pressure towards the Gold Fury already. They might be trying to sneak this one out.
Yeah, Manny probably identified to the team that he has his XE power spike and they can just rip this, but they don't want to get too ahead of themselves because their secure isn't that great. Kronos is pretty big, just got his Deso. He can probably outsecure anyone on their team.
Black's caught out here, has a few chains on him, but not a lot of follow-up as the Daji ult doesn't connect with the Ares ult. Will pull in one member here so low as Clax, but Angel actually falls first. Davo able to pick up Clax finally, has to use speed and dash away. The chase down is there from Jack Martin as well as Clouds. Maybe he can find this kill, has the speed up there. Dash out though from Davo. Manny is here now as well, finding the auto attacks onto Cloud. Stun available though as Ram and Azemo are stopped in their track. Most, tell me what you think about that Gold Fury play. Break it down for me, because I have some opinions, but I want to know what you think about it first.
Well, I like it. I like the idea by Romanticals. Like, if your hunter is ahead, gets a good back off, gets XC, you should. If you see the map,
Trouble here. Toski is out, and Nan has come in behind the tower. I like the use of the ultimate there. He's going to use a lot of the damage onto Nan and keep himself alive. That's absolutely fine.
yeah, they got the beads as well. Yeah, you should like pulling gold is what you want to do if your hunter has an XE power spike. The map wasn't. They didn't have a whole lot of vision, so it was kind of risky. But I liked the idea. What was your
Risky's
opinion?
not in this game, bro.
I am
Look, I agree with you to begin with. I like the start of that. Pause for a second though, as Clax is going to aggress onto Angel. Milo is here to keep some of the aggression off, but those Dharmic pillars are down and Clax is able to find the kill onto Angel. There's the dueling dragons though, and the counter kill has come through jungle for jungle trade. I think you're fine with that if you're either team, but Wizards have the pressure around the Gold Fury crucially. I like the beginning of that Gold Fury play. I think what it was lacking was wards, because what we saw was the Wizards kind of panicked when they saw the Gold Fury being started, and none actually dashed towards it. So 4 members of Romanticals are set up around that Gold Fury, and if they had wards, they would have known that only 2 members of Wizards were walking up, and they could have hard committed to anybody there. They probably could have killed none. So I like the start of it. I didn't like the kind of follow through after to just drop it because they didn't have vision.
Yeah, it's kind of rough seeing a whole objective. Oh my god. What are those autos? But, yeah,
that could.
this could be a solo kill. They got the beads before. Oh, Tusky doesn't reach.
The 3 does connect though. Is it enough for the auto attack? No. Oh, I would have loved to have seen Furin have the patience there to get his 3 out first and then Tusky, because that would have guaranteed it. Oh, but Milo very far out of position here, will be knocked up by Nan, forced to use his ultimate as well. Might find someone, actually finds a Chronos ult, which is big here for Angel, just around this corner, but Gold Fury started and knocked off the map already by the Wizards. That's a really good play here, really good zoning there by Nan and Cloud. We've also seen the Dharmic pillars pop. Davo OCE is pushing down this right side. In the meantime, Angel finds himself a good use of the power layer, pulling in at least one there. The ultimate used by Manny though doesn't find too much damage. Nan aggressive onto Milo here. Angel, he's actually going to dash away back underneath the T2 tower. So Gold Fury down, Milo down, but it's a trade-off for the T1 tower, sorry, and right, and a lot of farm going Davo's way. I don't know. It feels like Wizards kind of guaranteed themselves a Gold Fury there, so I think I like Romantical's attempt, but yeah, again, it just doesn't feel like the execution is 100% there, you know?
Yeah, they got that gold off just getting Manny's relics in that gank before. Heads up rotation by the Amaterasu to just come over and pressure that out, but overall, there could have been some better like awareness from the Romanticals, but I think that the Wizards actually played that pretty clean.
Yeah, and I mean, that was a very impactful Gold Fury as well. We can see the dip in XP and gold graphs down to about 2k in favor of Imperial, with the spider being basically, even before that, one chain is going to connect with Clax here. Azemo, I don't think he's got enough damage as Jack Martin's making his rotation over 2. Pyromancer started up though by the Romanticals, and doesn't look like it's going to be too clean. I think they actually might overcommit to this if they're not careful. Jack Martin's on the right side. The rest of both teams are rotating in from the mid lane. Pyro down to about half health. The damage has been done there. A lot of poke on a few members of Romanticals. Angel has gone in, looking for Cloud. He's going to force the ult out of the Cronus very early here. In goes Overthinking Hoover, but as we saw, the Ganesh silence is so strong when an Ares goes in, he just can't pop his ult. Angel's fallen up into his ult, and the Dueling Dragons are going to come out, but it's unlikely that Angel can get out of this one. Blinks away from Jack Martin, and he's using his one to give himself a little bit more immunity and speed, but Jack Martin finds the catch-up, gets that kill, and in the meantime, nobody from the Romanticals was able to go in and get more damage. Diamond Pillars are going to come down from Naan as well, and slow down any attempt that the Romanticals have to do anything here. In the meantime, Furin was pushing down T2 and left, and he's actually staying there as well. He's going to get this T2 tower. The Romanticals commit to the Pyromancer. Wizards are going to walk into this one. Jack Martin over the wall here. None is just around this corner as well. Jack Martin's walked straight in. Pyromancer stolen as well there, likely by Jack Martin, and nobody from Romanticals is able to kill the low health buzz out of the Wizards. Klax, in he goes looking for Manny. Hooper is here trying to prevent this damage from coming through. Klax is actually so tanky right now and finding so much damage onto Milo. Knock up there from Azimo will mean Klax does finally fall to Manny, but the damage has been done. Pyromancer stolen. T2 and left taken by Furin. Romanticals are bleeding everywhere right now.
Yeah, damn, bro. That, well, I don't know, really. I think the Pyro pool was ambitious, but Azimo was zoning. He didn't, like, they just lost that by getting out-secured. Azimo didn't put any DPS into that Pyro and was, like, solo frontline zoning for some reason on the Yukon. Like,
Yeah.
I think if he was there, they could have got that. I don't think it was a good play, but they might have gotten out of that fight with the bomb in their inventories.
Yeah, and look, you know, overall, I think that the general idea that the Romanticals seem to have is good. Looking for this play onto Naan is actually really intelligent. Angel, though, taking a lot of damage for it as Diamond Pillars are going to come down up into the power loud. Did go the Dark Shade, looking for the damage onto Naan. The pool there came in, and Azima was able to find it, but Milo, he's probably stayed for a little bit too long here as Furin's made a rotation over. Dueling Dragons will come out, but it's not enough as down goes Hooper, and now Azimo. He's probably gotten himself out of position a little bit to keep his support alive. Manny, though, finding a lot of damage onto Klax in the meantime, and David's actually made a good rotation over here, might be able to find something up into the air. Does go the run, one snipe, two snipes, three snipes, just barely not enough. And now Davo is going to ult here, but not for any value. And I think, Moss, that the Romanticals, they have the right idea. You know, they looked for Naan there, who's an out-of-position support, and they threw numbers into him. The idea was right. I think the execution was just barely off, and that's kind of what they're missing here.
Oh my god, Angel gets chunked there. And it's also like a bit of a shame for Davo. He hasn't been coming and rotating to these fights, but he still finds himself behind the Amaterasu.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's an experience thing at the end of the day, and this is a lot of this game is coming down to experience, where you've got, you know, Angel's been around for years and years, and he's obviously currently leading the game for the Romanticals. And on the other side, you know, you've got players on the Wizards who have been around for years and years and are really leading the game for them. But Jack Martin dashes in a little bit early, down to about half health and forced to use his ult. Not going to stun anyone there either. I think that the Romanticals have actually got really strong fundamentals looking at them competing with a team like the Wizards. It's just, you know, once they get a bit more experience, and I'm hoping that they watch back this and maybe watch back a VOD here. Davo goes in alongside Angel. They're actually going to find kills here. Furin down. None in a lot of trouble here. The Diamond Pillars are already down. Milo has found it, and now Manny is going to roll towards this Gold Fury. This could be a very comfortable Gold Fury play. They do need to be careful, though. Jack Martin is actually pushing down the mid T2 tower. Clack and Clout are here. Ultimate out from the air. He's looking for one. Dueling Dragons come down. Gold Fury still hasn't been secured. And Clax is in the back line looking for Angel. It's going to take him a little bit more, though, as Manny finds a kill. Rotation back in, though, from Jack Martin as Zemo is going to jump in looking for Clout. He won't be able to find him as the ultimate comes out from the Chronos. This is a bit of a risky position to be in as Jack Martin chasing down the back line as Davo not in a great position to do damage. Or the front line here. Manny going to go up into the ult looking for the snipe. 1, 2, third one fired. Didn't find the Chronos there, but Jack Martin will fall in the Romanticals. Take the advantage in that fight overall.
These fights are wild, man. So much stuff going on. But I think...
I wish I didn't have to talk for so long.
Yeah, I think the Wizards are just like playing these fights better. They might not be coming out with more picks, but they're doing more outside of the fight to make it, even regardless of like if they're getting picked or not, the fight's still in their favor.
Well,
we saw Jack Martin get the middle tower there.
Yeah, that's
yeah, I'd say so. But
I think Yeah, I think you're right. That mid
the
tower
set
as well.
decided no.
Yeah, and yeah. Angel taking up this Gold Fury. He's taken a little bit of damage, but he's actually slowed there. Has to dash away to his team, and Furin has walked in, thrown off Tusky, and stunned 4 members. Man, he's so low. In fact, every single member of the Romanticals was stunned by Tusky there. It did so much work. Angel, low health. Manny, low health. The Romanticals have to back off this. Angel might actually die as the Dharmic Pillars have come down, and Furin's still in the area. Oh, Manny, no. No. Oh, the lazy back. Down, pow out. Oh, great beats from Furin though. The insta-pull was there and Furin heard the whole thing and survived it. That's really rough. Never lazy back there.
Yeah. We saw Angel get off to such a good start at the start of this game, and now is 3 levels behind and level 14 at 19 minutes. It's kind of not looking good.
Blink in from Milo here. He's trying to find something, but at this point, the 3 members of Romanticals who have shown up to try to prevent this Gold Fury from going down, likely throwing their lives away. Maybe 2 will survive, so it's just a Zemo that's going to go down. I'd say that David's probably going to pass away here as well. Does fall to Clouty. Angel's around the back, but as you mentioned, he's so much further behind than he was in the early game. Now 3 levels down on Clax.
I think
Gold Fury is going to be taken here by Furin and None.
Yeah, I think that there's been a few instances in this game where Azimos have like really poor positioning. I'm not sure if that's on him necessarily, or if that's going to be on his team not communicating where everybody is. But numerous times now, this Yu Huang has just been caught out, and often following that, there's been numerous picks because his team might be trying to help him. So something to look at there. I know it's still only the first game of the season. There's going to be lots of changes and improvements
100%.
made to every team, but that's maybe something to note.
I would, we were talking about it a little bit earlier, I would love for Romanticals to be able to watch this back and maybe sit down with some experienced players and really learn from what's happened during this game, because they have the fundamentals to be a top competitive team here. But looking at them competing with, I think Wizards came 3rd last season overall. So, they're competing quite well with this Wizards roster, so I think they've got the potential to be a top team if they can sit down and really nut out some of the smaller things that are slowing them down a bit here and there. They've got huge potential. It would be nice as well. It's really hard for them to identify this in the middle of this game right now, but we actually saw that Furin took forever to clear that Gold Fury. So I think that that's a huge advantage here for Romanticals if they're able to identify how slow the objective burn is for Wizards, because they might be able to punish on a Fire Giant play, but that's very difficult for them to know because they were under their Titan at the time. It's
still not that slow though, because they have double ADC. Like when it's 2 people, it's going to actually be pretty quick. And we have the poly on the Chronos. He's going to be slamming.
That's
and
true.
he's already got 6 items. I don't know if you include the bow as an item, but he's full build. I'll just say that.
He might as well be.
Yeah, he's got the starter online. It's going to be very rough for Angel to dive him, and he might be able to get the ult off, but that's just another thing. The Chronos has 2 lives.
It's a good position to be in, although Jack Martin is overcommitted. He finds himself doing that a lot, and Angel's actually found a kill onto the armor, but maybe that overcommit is going to lead to a successful teamfight as Furin is able to find Angel, and that's a huge trade there for Jack Martin's life. Davo goes down as well. Manny and Milo are forced underneath the tower here. Furin is going to dive in, looking for a Zemo. Clax looking for something as well. Manny trying to take the 1v1 here, forced to use Zemo. Surviving, but not for long enough as Clouty finds himself the kill, double kill in fact, for the Chronos here. Milo alone chains onto Clax, but it's not going to be enough damage to pick anyone up here. Will go down, triple kill for the Chronos. And that's going to be enough here for the Imperial Wizards to look for an objective, likely the Fire Giant, given their health bars.
Yeah, I think even just with the Chronos and the Ganesh, they still get it. It might not be that quick.
I mean, you've got Furin here too, he stayed.
Yeah, I thought he might back. I think these fights are just coming down to like target pro. Like you see people dropping so much quicker for the Romanticals. Like the experience of the Wizards is kind of showing that it's like taking people down one by one, but on the other side, it's kind of just like sporadic spread damage.
For sure. And, we saw Jack Martin did get picked there, but he would have been picked a lot faster, and it would have been a lot safer for for the Romanticals to have done that if they had been able to put all of their team into killing him immediately. So I think you're right that target prio was making a huge impact here.
Yeah, I think there will be numerous voices calling in for the Wizards, but having voices is better than none. I can't speak for what is going on in the Romanticals comms, but I'm not too sure who their designated loud person is.
It might be Angel. It could be.
Angel,
I've heard
Angel's
Davo's
so
talk a lot.
quiet. Angel's so
But
quiet.
yeah, I know that's why I was hesitant on that. Phoenix going to be aggressed on here by the
Oh
Imperial
my
Wizards.
God.
Angel falls so quickly, so much damage coming out of here and there. As Dharmic Pillars are going to come down from this Ganesh as well. Ares will use his ult and pull in too, but Overthink and Hooper will go down. Klax able to pick up as Zemo. The Ares has lived until now. Furin picks himself up the double kill. Davo and Manny are the lone survivors here. Klax gets the double kill under the fountain onto Manny. So much damage coming out of this set.
Titan
Gonna have to-
walkies.
Yeah, Titan Walkies is going to prevent them from winning the game here. I thought it might have been going down the left side and they could have caught it, but no. So Cloud is going to walk his way over towards the Titan on his walkies. He's going to pick that one up and hopefully their team can reset and try to push down the right side to end this game before Romanticals get an opportunity to come back into this one.
Yeah, I actually like this Absolution pickup that Nan's gone for. If he can time his ult, he can immune like almost a full team's worth of Ares ults. So it's actually a pretty clean pickup.
Ooh, nonsense. No. Oh.
That did not look like he missed that.
Oh, I don't even
That
have
was
commentary
so
for
close.
That's
That was so
rough,
close.
man. Like, Nan played that poorly. He should not have been taking that for that long. There's no reason ever to do that. It's just so unfortunate that Angel wasn't able to connect his ult.
I thought that looked like it did connect.
It didn't look like it connected. And now Klax is going to go in here looking for a Zemo forced up into his immune there and also had to use his beat to follow up there from Jack Martin. Very low health though. Is this armor to Rust? No damage has connected from Davo there and Jack Martin actually able to heal himself up to survive here. Chaos Titan has walked into the Order Titan room and it might just be enough to end this game. Order Titan falling ever so much lower down to about half health already. Classy found the kill onto Manning Davo and Overthinking Hooper trying to survive here as the Titan falls lower and lower. It goes down. Imperial Wizards have taken the first game of the set. Close game, but by the end of it, 16,500 gold lead. Imperial Wizards have shown their dominance in this one.
Yeah, very clean from them. It looked pretty close at the start. Like I thought Angel might be getting the game to shine, but
Mm.
unfortunately not. I think possibly could, like I didn't think the Ares had a whole lot of impact. There probably would have been better picks for their team. Like it was a good idea, but
Yeah.
it didn't really play off too well.
I think overall, I love seeing these two teams clashing. Obviously, we've still got game number 2 to go into shortly. But I love to see the ideas that the Romanticals were able to bring in. Obviously, Angel playing incredibly well in the early game. And I think that they've got the right ideas. It just needs to be meshed into something a little bit more coherent and maybe have some experienced players come in and help them out and show them the ropes around that. Obviously, seeing the Wizards come back as well, Clout had a dominant performance on that Kronos, 8-0 and 10. I believe he ended up on, which is pretty impressive on a Kronos right now. So great to see, and I think that these guys are looking stronger than they probably did a little bit later in last season as well. So might still be contesting for that top spot in OCE. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I think it's like pretty rough to just let a Kronos kind of free farm, get a few items online. Need to be looking at that a bit earlier because once he gets, I don't know, even 2 items, he can
Mhm.
do a lot of damage. So maybe a bit
It's
of a misplay from Romanticals.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of identified the moment where it happened, where, we saw Angel make a rotation over towards the duo lane. It was great. He picked up a kill. And then we saw Azemo rotate a little bit later on, and it just let Clouty farm up in mid, get some mid camps, push a wave in, and he slowly just started to snowball off that, got himself a double kill, and just got out of control after that. So, look, like I said earlier, good attempts at a lot of stuff, just not perfect execution where it needed to be.
Yeah, I think those definitely highlights of the draft that Romanticals had, and they played some of the areas well. Like I did like the impact that Davo was having on the pick
Mhm.
of the Rajan.
Well,
Maybe
wait,
a few like map play.
highlights?
Oh
Did you
shit!
say highlights?
No, I didn't.
A highlight reel? What?
Highlight reel. Perhaps we could participate in a little bit of tomfoolery.
Oh, there could be some tomfoolery in a highlight reel. I'd like to see if you do a highlight reel. If we're able to get the resources together, I'd love to see some Angels plays in that game be in there. I'm just I'm just saying,
Definitely.
and maybe
Angel.
Davo as well.
Some of those Daji plays were super clean, so definitely.
All right.
Are we ready to get into the next match?
I think we are. I think we're ready to get into game number 2 here between. We're not ready to get into game number 2 here between Wizards and Romanticals, but that's okay. We can keep talking. I like talking to you, Moss. It's fine.
Yeah. Speak for yourself. No.
I knew you'd say it. I knew you were gonna turn it around on me. You've been so mean to me today.
What do you think you want to see change for Romanticals if they need to get this dub?
I actually like their comp. I think Azemo is obviously playing a comfort pick in the Yuhuang, but I don't think it does what he really needs it to do. It's a safe god until it's not. He was able to use that immunity before Cloud got his double kill, or maybe a little bit after it. We saw Azemo use his immunity to get away from the stun on the Chronos, but then immediately he was followed up by Klax. So I think that it's a safe god, but kind of doesn't have punish once it's been overcommitted to. So yeah, I don't know. It feels like maybe switching up that mid lane pick to something a little bit more versatile. I'd love to see something that Vintage had played in the last set that we watched. Maybe that Yada had played, maybe a Ra or a Yanis, which is really safe, can get himself out of a bad position, but can also turn around a lot of damage. What do you think, Most?
Yeah, it's tricky to say. Like, I don't really know what's in Azemo's pool. We haven't seen a whole lot outside of really Marta Chorus and Yuhuang, because those seem to just be the gods that he goes back to time and again. So I do agree with you in saying that some of those picks could be good, but they need to find a way to shut down just like the team play that the Wizards have. So maybe some disruptful picks, like taking I don't know, something that will screw a team fight, like an Oleron ult or like a Artemis ult or something like that.
Yeah, I think as well that focus the weak link in the Wizards team realistically. Look at the weakest person, Jack Martin, and just what do you do to punish him?
Yeah, you can.
He's gonna hate reload.
You got to show him who's boss.
It's me. Yeah, I think you're right though. That some disruptive things, a little bit more protection for Azemo. I think overall though, it does kind of come down to maybe just a little bit more competitive mindset in the gameplay. I actually quite like their draft there. I love that they had the very similar comp to what we saw from Family Guy with the Ares Daji, and what was the other god that they had that was similar as well?
Ram.
Ares Daji Ram, that's it. Like, that was really good, and I think pairing it with the Rajam was also kind of strong.
Just didn't all come together.
Production, are we ready this time? Poggers, alright, let's go picks and bans for game number 2 here between Romanticals and Imperial Wizards. Let's get it.
I think we'll see some similar like top 3 bands come out. Those seem to be pretty cemented. I do like that Ganesh ban.
I like that Ganesh ban too.
None had a pretty good impact on that, just shutting down anything that Overthinking Hooper wanted to do on the Ares.
Yeah, we talked about it, in the picks and bans. We also saw it in the middle of the game as well, where, Hooper on that Ares blinked in, tried to ult, couldn't do anything. He was silenced and was immediately punished. Yamoja ban as well. Again, that's obviously a prio pick, but it doesn't feel like it sort of fits in with what Wizards are trying to do. It feels like Nan really wants to play these backline counterplay sort of supports, like a Ganesh, like a Kepri, that sort of thing. And I don't think Yamoja necessarily fits that, but I don't know, she's still a strong god.
Yeah, Yamoja can do a lot of things. Very versatile god. And I'm pretty sure it's quite a comfort pick for Nan, so I think it's definitely a warranted ban. It is rough having to put two of your bands onto the support, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
There's a lot of good stuff open.
Yeah, and support has always had quite an impact in SmiteGame.exe, and especially more so in the last few years than really ever. Cerberus locked in here though. What do you think of that, Moss?
I love Serb. Depends what, like, no, it doesn't even depend. It goes well in both support and solo. It leaves a lot of leaves a lot out there because you can't pick too much healing into that. So it's kind of like a preemptive counter pick.
Yeah, I do like
Killua's
just quickly
Fury!
that Wizards put the respect ban onto the Darji there, so respecting Angel's Darji. They are going to pick up Pele Raijin for themselves here in their first 2 slot against this Cerberus, and that's strong. If that Raijin's going back towards the solo lane, we saw the work that Davo did on it. I think that Jack Martin will do just as much, if not more, get himself ahead, and we've seen Pele do a lot of work. I think we saw Roy playing it earlier and just chunking through numbers with it.
Yeah, it's a strong guard at the moment. Ket pick looking to
This is
possibly
one
just
tail
counter
you
out
don't want to chase, darling.
counter out this Pele dive. I think it's a good way to do it. I know it's a comfort pick for Angel, so
And
I'm happy.
too.
Olaron's awesome. Like it's definitely a Manny prio pick. It also leaves open like a good double ADC comp if they want to go that way. And having a good magical ADC, you can prio some more fizz damage in mid. Doesn't have to be an assassin.
I like that the Romanticals have like a super turtle comp here, but yeah, Afro kind of makes that really difficult. Although
Into
Cerberus-
Serb Circuit.
Now,
yeah,
I'm
like
your
there's a lot of
soulmate.
inbuilt anti-heal already here. Aphrodite has a shit time. Like the only good thing about her here is that her ult obviously counteracts Oleron ult decently well, but
And Circuit ult.
and Circuit ult, that's true. But her kit kind of means nothing as well against those gods. Like she has a good chance of being punished.
Now, do you think that's the support pick? I think I would say that it would be like
I would say so. I don't. Probably. I wouldn't play it right now. But we saw that time period where Aphrodite support was really good, and maybe Nan is still feeling that.
yeah, it's been priored in SPL. I know it's valued in the support role, but bro, Clout's in this draft. It's probably going like jungle. Who knows?
Yeah. That's true. Cloud's probably playing it in mid. As we're going to see, Thanatos and Camazot's banned out, which is interesting that the Warriors are the ones to ban those, because Camazot plays really well against Oleron ult. So it's not really a god that I was expecting to be banned by the Wizards. Set and Kronos on the other side by the Romanticals here, so they know what the strong areas of the Wizards comp were last game. They've banned 4 of the gods from the last game's comp.
Yeah, I like that approach. Like we saw, it's kind of a fair way to play a draft. Like if you think that they unsed you with these picks last game, just take them off them and see if you can play your game better than them.
This Kepri Hover, this makes sense for me though. As I mentioned earlier when we saw that Yamoja ban, I think that this is a god that suits Nan's playstyle really well. He's a Ganesh, Kepri, maybe Geb when he's in the meta sort of player in support where he wants to play in the backline, facilitate his team really well and counter engage. So this makes a lot of sense to be going to Nan. In saying that, where the hell is this Aphrodite going then? It might actually be going to Clout in mid.
You'd probably have to guess so.
Because I imagine this Raijin's going to Jack Martin in solo.
Yeah, definitely. This
This
Cherno 4th pick is criminal. Like that's such a good pick.
Yeah.
I really like the backline from
shall be
Romanticals
written
as well.
in legend.
Not too sure about the Guan pick. Maybe they're picking it to kind of like counter some of the sustain and just try and keep level in these team fights, but you're never really going to be matching Afro sustain.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not a huge fan of that one there. Okay, maybe the order of picks and bans is a little bit off, apparently.
Oh,
Sense
was
Productions.
it a Cherno 1st pick? I can
That's
see it
what's
being a
happened there.
Cherno 1st pick and a Serb 3rd. That makes more sense.
Right, okay. But anyway, we'll get through it. Either way, I think you're right that this Guan has seen a lot of play in the past, but yeah, I don't think it makes sense to try to make him try to out-sustain this comp that has great sustain, when instead what you've really built for is anti-heal, and that makes sense for your comp here. play into that anti-heal, put this Cerberus in the solo lane, get yourself a different support who maybe plays well with that anti-heal or plays well around that fact. I think that would make a little bit more sense in the Guard, but maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll be proven wrong here, Moss. Maybe Romanticals have completely spiced up this draft. They know exactly what to do here, and they're going to unce the Wizards. What do you think, Moss?
Look, I think that outside of the Guan, they have a dope draft, but I'm just going to have to give it to the Wizards as they showed last game that their team play is just on a little bit of a high level at this point.
I think Angel goes nutty with it and gets like a double, triple pentakill and wins them the game.
I'm familiar with those, actually.
Even if, yeah, I'm sure you are.
Dude, imagine a last pick Alpoish into their team comp.
Oh, nutty. Insane.
It would have
Insane.
gone so stupidly hard. Like,
I would have paid money for that.
But
what you can pay money for, or not, is game number 2 between the Romanticals and the Wizards. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I didn't expect to be talking this much.
Let's just end the stream here.
Yeah, we're done. We're done. We know that the Romanticals are going to reverse sweep this, so it's fine. Here we are, though, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2, Romanticals versus Wizards. Our last set for week number 1. It's been an exciting start to Season 5 so far. I love the teams that we've got coming in. A lot of spice coming out from a lot of these rosters who have been changing up their roles and keeping things fresh and exciting for Season 5. Romanticals, really a debut team here of a lot of players who have been around for a little bit and making names for themselves. Weren't able to win game number 1 against the Imperial Wizards, but they had a good game. I think that they showed a lot of strong fundamentals. This is their opportunity to maybe turn this one around on the Wizards and take themselves back a win, even reverse sweep. I'm betting on it. I would put all of my viewer points on it. If I could.
How many viewer points do you have?
More than I should.
Oh,
I watch every game, shockingly.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, I think that it's fun to see the season back and some of these teams are looking good. So I reckon it's going to be a really entertaining season. This game, I'm excited to see how it plays out. I think there's definitely potential for both teams to win. I have a big question mark on this Afro pick, actually, but I think if it's just perma-linked to the Pele in the mid to early, they will not die. And then if he's just linked to Furin late, it'll be pretty hard to counter.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I think we really need to see a lot of anti-heal coming out because you're right. This Aphrodite between the healing and the ultimate is just going to be too much.
The no tainted on the Guan is criminal.
Yeah, it's not what I wanted to see coming out. Although, I mean, is it the end of the world in this early? Yeah, it is. Yes, it's not great. Angel.
Even Raijin's going to be going towards a lifesteal build as well.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Manny is going to be stunned out here, taking a lot of damage. Fury playing very aggressive right now. The double root coming down as well. Beats Force, but Fury finds himself the first blood against Manny. Absolutely massive here for the Wizards to get themselves that early pressure. Angel, though, looking for a little bit of damage onto Clax, but man, Clout is just able to put out so much more pressure than I would have expected him to on the Aphrodite. I guess early game Chernobyl kind of struggles in mid, though.
Yeah, it takes a little while to get your pressure online. Like, I can even get behind an early Odibo second item or something just to really cement your pressure. But yeah, that pick in duo is very, very bad for Romanticals. Like, we saw that almost happen last game as well.
Angel way out of position here on those mid camps as well. So much damage coming out of Clouty as well. I think Wizards have found their footing after that first game. They're a lot more comfortable now on some of these spicy picks that they've got, and Clouty is kind of running the show a little bit in mid already.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it continues throughout the whole season, like these spice picks. I probably assume that it will. So yeah, it's actually cool to see these gods that we don't see as much get played. I enjoy that.
I agree with you, and I would love to see that continue throughout the season. You know, we saw in our first set of the night Family guys pick themselves not a spice draft necessarily, but also not meta picks. Really, it was a little bit of off meta stuff that just synergized really well together, and they were able to take the set. So I love that.
It's going to be really rough for this Surcat to have an impact in this mid 2v2. this Afro just has so many tools to just say no thank you whenever the set
Yeah.
goes on her, so yeah, very rough.
I think that in order to do it, it kind of needs to be the mid 3v3, right? You need to have Milo over there using his ultimate, using his slows and his protection shreds to force a lot out of the Aphrodite first, or force a lot out of Clax first, so that Angel was able to do some work. Although Angel's made a rotation over towards this blue buff to try to defend the invade coming out from Wizards, unsuccessfully as well. A little bit of damage out to Clax, but Jack Martin able to steal away that blue buff comfortably, and this Raijin is starting to get further and further ahead. I can see him snowballing over in the duo lane though. Furent and Nan a little bit low health as Manny, and Overthink and Hoover looking for the damage. I don't think it's enough though. Furent's going to be able to find his way out of this one. Nan might be positioned to dash here. He does go down though. Cerberus able to pick up that kill. The first one for the Romanticals. A little bit too aggressive there on that purple buff invade.
Yeah, that's a good punish. I think in that blue invade, it maybe could have been avoided. Davo did pick up the TP, but just didn't manage to get it off before his blue spawned. It's pretty easy to just kind of step back and make sure that you're healthy for your blue, but maybe he can identify that in the future.
Yeah, it's something to think about for the next game. Especially because, you know, last game he was playing this Raijin, so maybe not 100% in the mindset of playing against it. On the other side though, Romanticals, not only did they stop purple buff invade, they got a kill, they also stole purple buff themselves, so Romanticals, they might be able to find a way to play around this duo lane, but Manny kind of low health now. He needs to be really careful. Obviously wants to farm here, but if he steps up a little bit too far, doesn't know who's around Nan right now, could lose his life very quickly.
Yeah. This Guan pick looks so rough, man. You have to step into the Raijin damage to do anything.
You do, and also Raijin can immediately mez him out of kit, basically. Zemo. I like the idea. The timing might not have been correct.
He didn't push his wave either.
He didn't push his wave first. Nan had just gotten under tower. There was a little bit earlier where Nan was kind of between the waves and that, and Milo was in the area to probably slow him, catch the dash, something like that, but it was just a little bit off time. I think maybe the Romanticals team need to focus on their communication, and maybe Azemo probably just needs to focus on his timing a little bit, because he's playing a lot of gods with strong rotation capacity, like this Chernobog, like the Yufang last game, but the timing's just a little bit off, so he's losing a lot more value than he could be for a well-timed but unsuccessful gank, for example.
That gank would be so much better if... Oh, this blue invade's coming up again.
Jack Martin's in the area as well, but this time the Romanticals seem to be a bit more prepared for it. Clacked out of position, but wow, Davo has lost so much health already. Gets up onto the horse, but it's not enough. Angel did manage to get an ult off in the backline. Clacks in a lot of trouble here. We've seen the Aphrodite ult used already. Maybe if Overthink and Hooper can get his ult off in time. No, Clacks is able to pick up the kill onto a Zemo. Hooper trying to find enough damage onto Clacks, but he just can't find it there. And now he's trying to get underneath this T1 tower. Is overthinking Hooper, but the Raijin ultimate damage is just enough. Cloud T finds himself that kill as well. Romanticals, they had the position, they had the opportunities, it was just barely not enough to find the kills where they needed them.
Yeah, that's tragic, man. I'd be so tilted if I was like on the Romanticals at all. It's gonna be pretty hard to come back from that, I think.
Yeah, that's... you do need to kind of wipe that one off and keep moving though. They're actually not that far behind despite what just happened there. It's about 2k gold, but that's okay. You know that Manning's ahead right now. One of the hardest things to do though as a competitive player is go, that sucked. Let's not do that again. Let's keep moving. We're fine.
Untilting is pretty difficult sometimes.
100%.
I think 4-man rotating to defend blue and losing 3 and blue is kind of rough without finding one pick.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you're so close as well.
Maybe they just look to completely disregard the solo lane, put this Guan on an island, but that will also just get this Raijin in a bit of a uncontrollable position, which he's almost in already.
Yeah, he's starting to get far ahead. Obviously, only has one item really with that Pythags up, but he's going to start to get out of control quite quickly. Nan is going to pull in Angel here and has teammates starting to rock up. Good disengage there from the Romanticals. What do you think, Moss? Where do you think Romanticals need to look here to get themselves back into this game? Because I don't think this is over yet. I don't think they're so far behind that it's over yet.
I think you're just playing around Manny, right? I don't know if these He's tripped back.
Speaking of playing around Manny, it was a good ultimate coming out from the Cerberus there, but the counter ult already coming out is strong. Fury might be able to position here as blink out from Angel. The ultimate coming down as well from the circuit is good. Azemo has made a rotation too, but it's just not quite perfect. And Klax is here. Manny did find the kill onto Furin, but Klax has found a counter kill onto Overthink and Hooper. Romanticals need to disengage now. Azemo might be a little bit too far out as Sanctified Fields comes down to keep alive the mid laner here. A lot of damage coming onto Nan as well, but Klax is pushing up into Sanctified Fields. He knows that it's going to end soon. Azemo, though, does find the counter kill. Can he get one more? No ultimate available for Nan. Won't be able to find it, though. That's... you know?
I feel like they should have been punished so much more for that stay. I don't know why Klax decided to make that stay good for them.
Devo might just lose his life here. He's going to go up into the cavalry charge. Jack Martin holding the taiko drums. He's going to be able to find the kill alongside Clout T though, although Angel has made his own rotation over looking for the damage onto Jack Martin. Clout doing a good job keeping his solo laner alive. Jack Martin actually able to jump over that wall, just barely. Clout though now has Angel and Overthinking Hooper right around this corner from him. He's going to use that ult to immune a lot of damage here. Jump out from Angel, but broken ankles from Clout T there. Really well played by the Aphrodite, and turnaround is there as Clout makes his rotation over. Now likely to pick up the support for Romanticals as well, at least chase him into the mid lane here.
I understand the desperation play there, but I think once you get that Afro ult, you just leave, because you know that Pele came back up, is going to be going to that right side jungle, and is going to be there very shortly. So I think a little bit of an overstay there.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that. We've seen a bit of a lane switch here as well between Azemo and Manny, obviously identifying that, you know, there's enough of a lead here that Azemo is actually ahead of Furin if they switch lanes now. But it's a hard position to be in as well, because now Manny, who was doing really well in that duo lane, keeping himself ahead over there, is against Clouty, and he's behind Clout, and also a lot more. You know, Oleron is much more vulnerable all in the mid lane there. Angel just barely not able to pick up that.
Well, they swapped back. Maybe they were just catching waves or something.
Okay,
I don't know.
that's fine. That's fine. Oleron, I think you really want him close to this Gold Fury, because if it started up and you've got Sanctified Fields, that's your best chance of stopping it, and you want Chernobog to be able to ult over there, although Manny might be caught out here, will be rooted by Nan. The ball should be available, and Klax is over this wall, won't be able to find the knock-up, but will force out Sanctified Fields. Ultimate coming out here as well from Azemo. Now I love this play, now I love the teamwork. Azemo able to find the kill on Klax.
Also,
great counterplay there from the Romanticals.
Full goal. Azemo keeps going in and in. He doesn't want to stop, but
Gold
it should be a free goal.
But Manny is kind of out of position here, being chased down into tower by Nan. Will be rooted. Beads used there very well, prevents the pull from getting him. The ultimate coming out from Furin will chase Manny under the tower. Auto attacks coming out, but there's the ultimate from the Kepri. Scarab's Blessing will keep the Cernos alive, sorry, but Romanticals have gotten the Gold Fury. They'll trade Manny's life for that every day of the week.
Yeah, but they trade it for a pick and
the T1 tower.
And a T1. I don't know if that's worth. And a beads.
I don't hate it. Probably.
I think if the second they got the pick, they immediately went to gold. That's fine play. But now, Manny's gonna find himself falling a little bit further behind to this Kern, just naturally from how getting a kill and having more map to farm.
I agree. Blink out here from Angel will find one part of that service, but not the other one. Klax still being chased down here. Davo just doesn't have the position to be able to turn around on something like this, but Klax is going to ult in aggressively, and it gives Angel the opportunity to ult him himself. Davo ult in, finds the kill. It's a 1-for-1 trade, as we did lose Angel there as well. Jack Martin might not be able to take this 1v1 with a Zemo, but it just means that mid is left completely undefended, and that T1 is likely to fall. Wow, Jack Martin does so much damage. Never mind. Holy, Zemo's dead.
Remember what I was talking about in the picks and bans?
Oh my god. Yes.
And now he was just going to jump under tower and kill him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Rajan is a thing.
That's dummy thick, bro. You're not allowed to do that.
Stop it.
Stop it. He's already dead.
Yeah, that's very
Wow.
rough. I think that was a poor rotation. You don't need that ult. Like that was a confirmed kill, and
Yeah.
once again comes back to like you're losing so much farm in mid, and just letting an
Wow.
Afro free farm. Like it's
Yeah, for
something
sure.
something they can identify. I think as a team, is just like prioritizing where they need to pressure around the map, and
Yeah, and
identifying how farm impacts things, and like prioritizing
100%.
farm, etc.
We've seen, you know, again, really good concepts coming out from the Romanticals. Again, they've shown this game that they know where to put pressure at certain times. It's maybe just lacking at other times, and something that even top teams, Smite teams, make the mistake of, which is tunnel visioning super hard on something and then going, shit, that was not worth it.
Yeah,
I like this.
they'll gain discipline though throughout this season. That's going down pretty quick.
I really like this play. It's going to be Romanticals to pick up the Pyromancer. So actually, Romanticals have had the last 2 objectives of the game.
Yeah,
Neutral objectives of the game. So really well played, like really good objective focused gameplay. It's just coming down to a little bit of farm play that can be changed up here and there, and maybe some positioning differences. And Romanticals have, I think, a very competitive team here. Unfortunately for them, though, the Wizards do have that positioning, do have that farm gameplay mindset, and they know where to bait, and that's exactly what Nan and Clout are setting up here, looking for a Zemo, looking for Overthinking Hooper here. Might not be able to find it, but Klax has made this rotation over towards the solo lane. This T1 tower is so low health, and it's just free farm at this point. Angel, however, has made a rotation over, looking for Furin, already forcing out that Conan Assault. Dash into 2. Manny has found the kill. Angel, again, great positioning, but now they need to find farm off the back of that. Davo being aggressed on in the solo lane of Zemo. Great ultimate coming out, looking to get the risk rotation onto Klax. A few more auto attacks will be able to do it. A great rotation from the mid laner here, forcing the ult out of Jack Martin as well. Nano making a rotation over alongside Cloud T. They should know this is happening as well, as the A gets popped by Jack Martin. Ultimate coming out from the Cerberus, but he's playing it aggressively as well. Forces the Zemo to be surrounded by 3. Cloud T picks up the kill onto a Zemo. Now Davo, trapped under his T2 tower, will be pulled in by Nan. However, T2 tower being looked at by Manny, I don't think it's going to go down here, and I don't think Overthinking Hooper can hold this T2 right. Moss, break that one down for us. What do you think? What do you think?
I think it's like I'm really enjoying the fact that even though Angel isn't finding success, they're not letting that get to them. They're still finding plays around the map. I think that left lane play was good. I think the Davo baiting for so long and allowing Azemo to come and find that kill was good. But so far, they've only had the answer for the damage of like that doesn't include like they only have the damage for no no Afro ult and no Kepri ult. So they have two more full health bars to get through when these team fights get to 5v5. So I think it's going to be a little bit more rough than how it's been going so far.
Yeah, I do agree with you. While these fights are split at the moment, obviously those extra 2 health bars aren't really there. Obviously, we didn't see Nan or Clouty in either of those fights until the end. So you're right that those 2 extra health bars didn't really exist until then. But now that we're grouped up like this, and Wizards are able to be a full team, this happens. Furin immediately wipes Zemo off the map. Manny, Overthinking Hooper, low health bars. Down goes the Yola on Sanctified Fields. Did come down. It might be enough for Angel to find some damage, but it's only into Jack Martin, and this solo laner is donkey. The rest of Wizards going to walk their way back over towards the Gold Fury. This is what happens when they're 5-man group now. Their team comp is so strong, so survivable, and has so much damage in it.
What are you really meant to do into that? Like, you see Manny holds his ult, uses it defensively, and still insta-dies. Like, it's very rough to play into a five-man team at this point in the game, let alone them having an Aphrodite, a super fed Raijin.
Onto Jack Martin, the shell's already been popped, and Angel, a few more autos would have done it, but Clouty just able to keep him alive. Those does might kill Angel.
Damn. We see that's even just with the breastplate. Like, breastplate still gives power when you're building book, but it's going to make this dive so much more difficult from Angel.
Yeah. And look, I think that Romanticals still have an in path here. They're about 5k gold down, which is actually not the end of the world at this point in the game. You know you're getting into Fire Giant territory soon, and 5k gold is impactful, but you can still, as the Wizards, make a mistake around fire here, which is an opportunity for Romanticals. I think what it comes down to, though, we saw in that last fight that it was just poor positioning. Why are you in the corridor near the Gold Fury against a team that's quite far ahead of you? You know that you're going to be punished for that, and you know that unless you're 5-man grouped, you're not going to take advantage of those sanctified fields. The environment play coming out from the Romanticals, they are able to lock it down, overthinking Hooper, taking a little bit of damage for his trouble, but the rest of his team is here. Angel damage is going to be able to find Clax there, but the res available, the Garrett coming out from None will be able to keep Jungler alive. Now Jack Martin, deep in the back line, is able to find his own ultimate damage. Angel did find Clax eventually. Sanctified Fields are going to come down looking for Jack Martin here. A few more orders would have done it, but the Aegis by Jack Martin will be able to keep Rajin alive. Meanwhile, Aphrodite is going to keep Nan kicking for now. Manny V able to find Jack Martin. This is an opportunity to disengage though if you're the Romantic. Beats forced out of Azemo. That's okay. Mid laner can get out. Great dash to get him out of trouble. Furin though in the area, overthinking Hooper, 1 health, lazy backing, not what you want to see. Stun, or sorry, that was a root coming out. Romanticals able to get out all 5 members and they picked up 2 kills. Love to see that fight around that Pyromancer, well executed that time.
Yeah, that was dope. I thought to begin the fight that the target pro was a little bit split. Like we saw only
no. Okay, go on, sorry. I was like after all of that good.
I saw only the 2 frontliners going on the Raijin, but he still fell. Like I must have just not been able to see that Manny was also on this Raijin, and finding that pick is massive. Whoever got that shut down would have been very happy.
Goosing up about it for sure. Yeah, this is kind of what's happening with the Romanticals though, right? They played that really well. They found a good opportunity at the Pyromancer, baited people in, had their whole team there and got kills. Then they walked back towards this Fire Giant with only 2 people. Davo lost his ult, nearly lost his life, and now they're going to lose this Fire Giant because of it.
Yeah, it is a shame, but I suppose that's just like what we've been saying. In like this team still has a lot to learn. I think they're showing very good signs, but they need to kind of identify where they can be on the map and when they can't be on the map. Like stepping up there, you should know that they're all going to be there. This steal is a bad idea.
Yeah, the hero play. Ultimate coming out from Nan very early there to keep Clax alive, but I guess it's fine. He's alive. Everything in Hooper will fall here, and we're going to see Channel.
Oh, they're committing to it.
Not the fight that Romanticals should be committing to either, as Manny is going to fall double kill here for Furin. And because it's off the back of the Fire Giant, Wizards are healthy enough to try to push in for this right side Phoenix, and they are going to look for it, although they have 2 members missing, and it's Clouty and Clax who are very important to a push, but Angel has taken so much damage to this one. It's only Azemo and Davo that are able to defend this right side Phoenix right now. I don't think they can do it. Right side Phoenix goes down. Azemo aggressed on by Jack Martin will be able to dash his way into the wall and back out again, looking to try to get underneath the fountain. Will survive for now, but right Phoenix down, mid T2 tower down, and the rest of Wizards grouping up, looking for a play here. Romanticals need to find a way to defend this one, or they're gonna be bleeding too much.
I don't even know if they can defend this one. Manny's dead. He doesn't even have ult when he comes up, and they just yeah, it's not looking too hot.
Mid Phoenix is down. Manny is alive now, but as you said, doesn't have his ultimate available, so not a lot of opportunities there to do much. Left tower might be the target next here for the Wizards. Let's see what they choose to do.
Yeah, I don't even know if the amount of anti-heal that the Romanticals have is enough. Like, there's no like magical mid who's going to be spreading that divine. This is rough.
Furin is going to pick up everything in Hooper there, and the left side Phoenix now the target of the aggression for the Wizards. I think they want to end the game right here. Angel is in the mid lane right now, so he's not putting any of his presence in. He's trying to keep 5 minions dealt with, and it means that the Wizards can walk straight in. Left side Phoenix is gone. Azemo half health. Manny healthy and has Sanctified Fields available, which is important for defending here right now. Wizards, I think they do need to back off though. They've probably bitten off a little bit more than they can chew, trying to commit to an ending here at 21 minutes, but still, 3 Phoenixes down. It's a hard position for the Romanticals to be in.
They couldn't have ended there. Like, Manny had his ult up. That would have just been so troll to try and end into an ult or an ult. It is still very rough. Now they're going to pick up the Oni and have enhanced fire waves going down every lane. This is a very, very bad position.
Terrifying position to be in.
And
you're right.
Yeah, I think
that Pyromancer play though.
Yeah, that's a good play. But this is going to be a tough test for the Romanticals, seeing if they can manage these waves well. If it's me, I'm sending I'm sending my Cherno as far as I can away from the fight and just getting him to at least push one wave out completely. Like he could go up left. You would imagine that the wizards would pry the right side of the map, saying that fire is going to be spawning in a like decent amount of time, but it's still going to be spawning next. And you get that Cherno with left pushed. You like both, maybe even the next wave after that fire wave, the
and
only fire wave.
in.
Yeah. It is such a potent part of the Chernobog pick is the split push ability, but I don't think they've really been in any position to even utilize it so far. That's a good Afro ult to get at the start of the fight.
It is going to be Afro Bolt, and that is good, you're right. That means that Circuit has a lot more potential here, but Davo has walked his way into a lot of danger, maybe not realizing that his team were having to disengage there. Does have the cavalry charge and might need to use it out here. Sanctified Fields, though, will be able to find Clax there. Ultimate coming out from Jack Martin is strong, and Furin's going to be able to find one Clout. Another one as Davo goes down 3v4 under the Titan here. It's actually a walking Titan as well, so this doesn't end the game right now, and that's very much to Romanticals' favour. They want to be able to fight with basically 2 Titans worth of health bars, and that's really good for them, but is it going to be enough? No. Clouty able to pick off Angel here, and Azemo is so far in the back line looking for Furin, but he's got Scarab's Blessing on him. Furin can't die there. Manny alone now against Clouty into the Titan room, and finally this is the Titan that can go down. Manny versus the world. No Sanctified Fields available. It's going to be jumped on here by Jack Martin. Overthinking Hooper is back though, looking for some damage. Will be able to get a curse out, but is it enough? No. Knocked back and knocked down as the Titan. Wizards take the set 2-0.
Yeah, a very clean game from the Wizards. I think the Afro Kepri would just prove to be too much, too many health bars for the enemy team to actually chew through. Like, I wouldn't want to play against that. So, yeah, unfortunate for the Romanticals. There were some good, promising moments. Like, they did identify some things on the map that they could do, but more often than not, I think their map play has a little bit of work to really get to their full potential.
Yeah, look, you know, I've always said that I liked the, I mean, I love all the guys on the Wizards team. A lot of them are people that I've played with on teams before, so I love those guys, and I love seeing them come into this season looking really strong in their first set. At the same time, you know, I've really been blowing steam up the Romanticals' asses because I think that they looked really good there, and they're bringing it to a top team in the OCL, and they actually had a good game, and they looked really good. So big shout outs to them there. And I just want to see these guys continuing to learn and build on those skills that they've got, because there's a good opportunity there. We noticed it many times that there were good opportunities for improvement on that team.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. I reckon everybody performed well on the Wizards, but I think none. I was actually like facilitating so much, just like letting both games with the Ganesh and the Kepri, just letting his team do what they wanted to do. So I actually think Nan had a great set.
Yeah, for sure. I think he looked really, really good. I love to see his Kepri gameplay, but I mean, his Ganesh was just insane. I thought that being able to drop the silences on top of that Ares just made all the difference in that first game, because, you know, we saw comparatively in Family Guy versus Off-Roll plus Tilly that once that Ares is able to get out of control and get those ults off whenever he wants, it makes a huge, huge difference. So having that Ganesh being able to stop that looks great. So you reckon Nan for your MVP?
That would be my vote. What about you?
Yeah, I think I would go Nan as well. I could never vote for Jack Martin. That guy's talking awful. Furin looked pretty good, but I think that he kind of had a hard time popping off in some of those games a little bit. I think maybe because of the gods that he was picking, they were a lot more late game centered, and it was a bit hard for them to get to that late game. I'd give it to Nan as well, and so would the audience. Nan, 5 votes, MVP.
Can we get this boy around for an interview, possibly?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go, Nan. Come on. I'm pretty sure you can still get in here as well. Two interviews tonight? That's huge.
Let's try and keep it up.
Let's try. We'll see what we can maintain.
I love the pre-match interview is actually kind of hype as well.
I know. It's so hard when they're pre-recorded games, though. If we can get a few more live games going, then it'll be easier. Welcome, Nan.
Hello.
Congratulations on winning that game that you just played right then.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted.
I can tell. I can tell. I didn't see you in chat at all there because you were so focused on playing that game just
Yep.
then.
100%.
Congratulations, my friend. Very clean 2-0 victory against a Romanticals team that was actually looking quite strong despite being a team that kind of had to force their way through relegations.
Yeah, I think that team did take quite a lot of initiative. I have to be honest though, like I actually haven't scrimmed with my team in probably like 4 weeks, 3 weeks, just because I've been busy and then was away for a weekend in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And they've actually been using Most a lot, so
Oh.
or
Aww.
yeah,
Me?
yeah, haven't they?
No.
Who have they been using?
I don't know.
They've been using Moxie. Moxie, that's the one.
Mm.
Same person.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad I was able to show up. Get back into it.
Yeah, it's excellent. I think you look great on the gods that you did pick. As a fellow support aficionado, great to see you winning the MVP. And I also love to see the Ganesh pick against the Ares just sitting there waiting to silence when he blinks in. Love that.
Yeah, it is nice to be noticed because when you finish these games and you look at the end game stats, there's not really a stat that represents support impact. I see least damage. I'm no longer top mitigated. I get the top wards, which I pride
Which is
myself
something.
on.
It's something.
That's probably the only thing I can get these days in support. But
On your team,
yeah.
Nine, you would also win Most Handsome Award because I've met the vast majority of your team.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Unlucky
That's
Jack Martin.
good to hear.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Moss, anything you want to ask, Nine?
Oh, what do you think is going to happen next week? Next week's set, I believe my team's coming up against yours. Got any plans?
Is that King Carter and Galen?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good game. Again, I don't know exactly where our team sits because I would place it anywhere. There's 6 teams, right? I would place it anywhere between like second challenging first, but also could be like fourth or fifth, just don't know. So, like, I initially would expect it to be like quite even, but again, I don't know. I could be wrong. We could dominate, hopefully, or we could get dominated. We'll
I love a
see.
season like that. Love a season like that.
Hopefully, we'll be able to get more scrims in. So I have an idea at least, but I'm not the person to ask as of right now.
That'd
Yeah.
be nice. I'll remember that you're not around so that I can sub support because I definitely know how to play the game still. Now, obviously, a bit of a switch up from last season. Last season, you were still in the mid lane at the time. Clouty in the jungle. So a bit of a switch up in the roles this season. How's that feeling at the moment?
Yeah, it's feeling really good. I mean, for me, it was a toss-up between wanting to play mid and sup, because I definitely enjoy playing mid just because the characters, like, obviously mages are by far the most enjoyable class right now, but also in general, I've always found them the most enjoyable class, so that's why I played mid. But at the same time, like, apart from when your team's like trolling or inting, support is also really fun. Like,
Absolutely.
more of it is in your team's hands, but like when everyone's working together, you can also make like a massive impact. And like, I don't really need the ego trip of like hitting, 360 no scope snipes
No.
and stuff these days. For me, I just enjoy knowing, like, I have 4 other members who can notice my impact. Maybe the other team won't as much, but if I'm talking and I'm hitting stuff, that makes me happy.
Maybe a 6 Scarab's blessing at the right time.
Yep, yeah. They always feel good. They always feel good when they work.
All right. Well, None, congratulations for your 2-0 victory in this first week. Moss, anything else you want to ask the handsome support player, or happy with that one at the moment?
Oh, I have one thing. Is there quite an air of like unpredictability in your draft, or is there like a plan when you go in?
It's hard again because like I haven't played with. I feel like our team has changed so much in the last few weeks. Like, as everyone's just working out, what they want to play and their play styles and stuff. So honestly, it's as unpredictable to me as it is to other teams. Like, I honestly don't know Clax's God Pool. Cloud, I know he can play a lot of stuff, but I can never tell what he feels like playing. He'll actually stay really quiet in picks and bans because he likes to surprise us when he just hovers something. He loves getting a reaction from us. But no, it's fun. It's fun. But yeah, answer to your question, I don't really have an idea yet. All I
Yeah,
know
fair
is what I
enough.
like to play. Yeah.
Yeah, well played. It was a fun game to watch, and GG's all round.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me in. Good to
GG's,
talk to you
Nance.
guys.
See you later, bro.
Alrighty. See you later.
Alright, almost. I think that that's going to close us up. I believe that that is all of our games for week number 1. Of course, week 2, people can play it whenever, and we got a week. It'll be an interesting one, I think, as you raise Tanan there to be your team versus his team. I'm excited to see how that one plays out.
Yeah, do you know what the other matches are?
I sure can check somewhere. Maybe if my helpful production person
Well-
can pull it up real quick for me, because he's cool like that. Oh god, not like that though. Okay, cool. Alright, we've got Wizards versus Scrimlocked.
That's incorrect, is it? Oh no, that's correct. That's correct.
Yeah, that's correct. That's
Oh
you
yeah,
versus
yeah.
none.
Yeah.
Romanticals versus Family Guys, which is going to be an interesting one. I think that's another opportunity for Romanticals to learn a lot, or show us that they're the first place team. And Shower Time versus Off Roll plus Tilly. That one I'm very excited for as well. Very excited for that.
I'm keen to
That's
see if
Wax's
Chigo
team
comes
versus
back.
Tilly's team. Me too. All right. Well, thank you very much, Moss, for joining us for this one tonight. As always, it's lovely to cast with you. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you for being here. I am going to quickly plug out normal things that we plug. You can check out our Discord. Click the link there if you want to see what we do and you're not already in the Discord. You can also check out our social medias. I believe that we're still uploading to YouTube. Maybe at some point we'll go back to doing Twitter things again, if maybe someone. While we've got Most here as well, if you want highlight reels back, we could really use some help with that. So, you know, if you just care about OCE, you really don't need to know much, send myself or Most or Redacted a message to get in and help us out with doing the highlight reels, because they're a lot of fun and they look great and they, you know, they're pretty. So let us know. Finally, I am going to post this one too. You can click on the link there. And help Smite OCL fight against motor neuron disease. It's a very important cause for us here, and if you're able to if you're able to spare any money at all, it would mean a lot if you could donate through that when you click the link there. Most any shout outs while you are here with me at the moment?
I think I'm all good.
All right. Well, I'm going to quickly shout out Gangster
Oh,
Six
Gangster. Yeah,
and
Gangster.
Redacted, because they do such a good job with all of the graphics and making the cast look great. Look, it's so cool that we got chat there and the latest follower and all that. It's all new. That's sick.
I agree. Big ups.
Big ups. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you with the next one. Have a good night.
What you want, what you gonna do when Sheriff John Brown come for you? Tell me what you wanna do, what you gonna do.
Blue power, motherfuckers, Miami PD. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we come for you?
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?